Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Ham Radio Basics Live, Season 2, Episode 6, Ham Radio News and Updates 3/13/2024. Hope everyone is doing well. Got some guys in the chat. Got Andy Cowley there, Chris Radio and Life, and Cooley. Welcome, guys. Glad to see you tonight. Got it looks to be a great day today. I'm enjoying the time change. In the evening. This is one I really enjoy because instead of being dark now, it's 7 o'clock Eastern time. It's very much still light, and I really enjoy that. However, getting up in the morning and going to work when it's completely dark, that's another story. That's another story for another day and time. So hope you guys are doing well. Jeff, good to see you. Glad you're here tonight. Very interesting. I'm still interested in finding out, and I think I'm going to run a poll to see if people have contacted their congressmen and senators regarding that bill before the House. Regarding being able to UTV and Ham. Welcome, good to see you tonight. Being able to erect permanent antennas on your property if you live in an HOA. So I think I'm going to run a poll on that. I think that would probably be a good thing. So, just going to kind of dive right into this. Yeah, and there's several things we're gonna talk about here tonight. So, let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and start sharing here. Absolutely love seeing Shaq pictures. I think that's fantastic. This gentleman has recently updated his shack, and he has his faithful companion there with him, and it's pretty all inclusive. Includes some of his awards, and of course, you can see the monitors up there. That's really good. I really kind of like that. Now, I do occasionally post drone footage out here on my ham radio channel, and I did one of the entrance to our fountain. They recently repainted it and cleaned it up and pressure washed it, and it really looks very, very good. Now, I don't know if you guys know about Quadra Ham Clock Bundle. They're very inexpensive. I think it's like about $65-$75, and you get a keyboard with it, and it's ready to go. All you need to do is get a monitor with that. And I think once I get my shack where it needs to be, I think that's going to be a vital part of my shack. And I'm looking for the optimal size monitor. Probably, I'm going to guess about 30 inches is probably real good for this. So, it's a good video from Mike here. Big changes to POTO. What does that mean for hammers? Definitely want to watch this video. It's a good video. Mike does a great job on that, as always. And then our friend HOA Ham Bob, Easy Radial ground plane. That is Bob does a lot of great things with antennas. No wonder why Chameleon sends him things to test, because he does such a great job. And this is another good video. It's one I encourage you to watch. I think he's just on the cusp of getting 10,000 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed to Bob's channel, please do so. He does just a fantastic job. One of my favorite channels out there, because I live in an HOA and he does too. And I love his approach. He does a great job with his channel here. Okay. I posted this the other day, and this was put out by Orlando Hamcation for attendance for 2024, and they actually had the largest attendance ever, 25,321, which was fantastic. And of course, yours truly and my wife were there, got to see a number of guys out there, and it was a lot of fun. We had a great time. And guess what's coming up around the corner? Hamvention's coming up around the corner in Dayton. May is not too far off, because it's middle of March. Getting the middle of March right now, and April, and then May will be here before you know it. So we're going to start making plans. I'm going to start planning our trip up there. Of course, it's a dual purpose trip for us, because my daughter, son-in-law, and my two unbelievable granddaughters are there. So we're going to spend a couple days with them as well too while we go up there. Dr. Ted, welcome. And Dr. Ted, want to wish you again. Hope you had a very happy birthday, and we wish you many more. Thank you for stopping by tonight. I really appreciate your stopping, not only on Tuesday nights on my drone show, but here at Ham Radio Basics Live. So, Dr. Ted, welcome. Glad you're here tonight. All right. Okay. Well, let's I'm hoping we'll see a lot of you guys up there. This one, I absolutely love this one. Remember to turn your VFO forward tonight. Can you get any better than that as far as a meme is concerned for daylight savings time? I don't think so. This was priceless. This was absolutely positively priceless here. So, Hams helping hams. What is the best handheld radio? From Josh. Always a great video. You definitely want to take a look at this. He does a great job with that and a great discussion. So I highly recommend that. And this is a good post from Michael Martin. Today is a Wisconsin QSO party starting at 1800. Dave and I will hit the road, activating 5 parks in 5 counties under the call sign K9M. I'll be on 20 meters phone and Dave 40 meter CW phone. If you hear the K9M call sign, work us, especially if we're in a new county or park. So Michael he's the POTA master. I'll tell you that right now. And he does everything. He does it well. So kudos to them. And to do dual operation in one car like that, my hat's off to both of them. That's absolutely fantastic. Okay. Jason puts this post up here. I present to you the Potapod Mark II. Following the thread for build picks, the Mark II version is better because the tripod collapsed is designed, and the coax round plane pack bracket is leg mounted. So that's a good thing. This is a video I just put out this week, and if you haven't seen it yet, I encourage you guys to go ahead and watch it. And I talk about the extended battery that you can get with the ICOM IC705. It's the BP307. The 272 that comes with it is 1800 milliamps. The 307 that comes with this is 3150 milliamp hours, and it significantly lengthens your time on there. Again, it only and this is and I had several people ask me this question. It doesn't. The only way you get 10 watts is when you use like a Bioenno external battery. But when you use the internal battery, you're limited to 5 watts, even with the 3150 milliamp hours. But the big thing with this is you have a longer talk time with it. And I went ahead and I purchased one from DX Engineering. I know Gigaparts had a sale recently. Oh, good deal, Cooley. Awesome. Dr. Ted, I'm glad you had a great birthday. We wish you many more. That's incredible. That is just absolutely awesome. I strongly recommend if you get a chance to. I know Gigaparts had a sale where they were knocking off percentage and kind of got the BP307. I looked out there. I didn't need to get another one, but it kind of knocked it almost in the $100 price range because it's about $135. But I'll tell you what, and this is another thing I would almost always recommend in this instance, don't go with an aftermarket because when you go out to Amazon to look for this, you can't find the 272 or the 307 out there. You can find ICOM chargers and things, but you can't find these batteries. You see all the knockoffs out there. And I would almost always stick with an OEM battery here because if there's something wrong, number one, ICOM's going to back it up. And I know they have because I've talked to several people who had that happen to them, and ICOM sent them a new battery out, number one. And number two, you're going to get what's advertised with this, okay? And, I rest assured it works and it works well. And I'm going to do a follow-up video to this too. We're going to go out and probably take a look and see. I almost always like to use the Bioenno with a 705, but I may just do a day and just do the extended battery. I know I'd be at 5 watts, but to see kind of see how long it lasts and get a ballpark feel for that. So, but again, if you guys get a chance, watch this video. It's real good. It's a good comparison between the two batteries here. Okay. And then I also, you guys know, I have a channel for my Toyota Tundra called Tundra Nation Basics. I did a recent video on how to haul groceries, because that's one of the things, when you go to a pickup truck from an SUV or a sedan, it's always easy to put groceries in the trunk. Well, not so in a truck, because obviously if you don't have a bed cover, which I do now, and that's being repaired, but putting them in the back seat, it's always haphazard. I was able to get, and you could probably see up here, right here, on Amazon, they were about $35 a piece, and they fold and they collapse up real nice. But it will hold all your groceries and it keeps them stable. And that's one of the things, because we'd put bags of groceries back there and things would get all over the place. Sometimes liquid would spill, and this is a great way to be able to haul them. Both of them fit across the back seat without any problem. They have handles on the end so you can carry them in. So, all right. This is a real good question. Besides HRO, DX Engineering, and Gigaparts, are there other stores that sell amateur radio equipment that also have a paper catalog? That's a real good question, and I really didn't see a whole lot of answers to that, because I know like RNL and MT Electronics and the other ones. It's pretty much a website. I don't see paper catalogs. I think only the big three I have seen that have catalogs. So kind of stay tuned on that. Now, this is a good one. Radioddity just put a new antenna out. It's called the HF008, and I had a couple of great comments on it. It does its job on 10 and 20 meters properly. Beyond that, the range thing starts to get messy, especially on 80 meters. Use it with both magnetic base and ground spike. Still good value for the price. So, it's an inexpensive option. If you want to do HF in your vehicle, it's a very inexpensive option to be able to do that. Again, the gentleman who commented here, says it's probably best on 10 and 20 meters, and it resembles the other comment. At that price, I hope it does not fall apart. It appears to be a knockoff of the very popular Outbacker antennas. So, but it's at a decent price. So, it will work on 10 and 20 meters. So it's better. It's better than nothing, as they say. But again, that's an option for you. Mike, welcome. Good to see you tonight. Glad you're here. And this meme was too funny. I had to post this here. 9 out of 10 husbands agree that their wives are always right. The 10th one has mysteriously disappeared and hasn't been heard from since. So I leave that in your very capable hands here. And this is one for my drone channel. And the big subject that I handled on my drone channel last night, because I know a number of you guys, follow me on my drone channel as well too. John, welcome. Good to see you. I think that already happened. That Wisconsin QSO, UTV and him. I think that already happened. I think that was a post from it was late last week. I think it may have happened over the weekend. Just to let you guys know. So, but last night's topic was the DJI Mavic 3 Pro retails for $2,199. I know we're a ham radio channel. I get that. And I'm gonna be showing how I use a drone with ham radio coming up here shortly, and doing a video on that. But Amazon had a special it was a week ago on Monday, selling it for $799. There was a third party seller, so I went out and purchased it. Long story short, they canceled a number of the orders. It was a third party seller, but Amazon was fulfilling it. I've been on the phone for over 2 hours with Amazon, number of calls, everything. I did go ahead and repurchase it again, not been canceled. And supposedly in 5 to 7 business days, I will be getting a credit back to get it to $799 plus tax. So we'll kind of see on that here. Okay. This ham is having issues with his ICOM IC7100. And I got to say this, okay. Having this radio for POTA, that's very that's adventuresome, because that's pretty heavy and pretty cumbersome to be able to do that. But if you want to see that post and see if you can add to this gentleman's being able to figure out what's going on, more power to you guys. I couldn't figure out. So several people gave him some good advice. So, but again, I thought that was real interesting that he does POTA with a 7100, because 9 times out of 10, you see the 7100 either is in mobile in a vehicle, or a lot of people have it at their shack. So now this was really good. I'm glad somebody put this post up here, okay? Because POTA is not a contest, and this is so good because you see a lot of people get really confused about POTA and what POTA is. Contesting is a popular activity among radio amateurs. Contesting consists of making maximum number of contacts with other radio amateurs in a defined time. It supports amateur self-training in radio communications, including improving operating skills, conducting technical investigations, and intercommunicating with other amateurs. Okay. And you guys know what POTA is about. That's not, it's out talking apples and oranges here. That's two different things. But okay. For me, all right, POTA for me, I don't have any state parks near me. Okay. It would be a drive, number one. And number two, you have to realize, okay, I'm not real fond of critters when you go to state parks. Okay. Normally, like up north, that's not, you can go to state parks and you really don't see a whole lot of wildlife except in the evening. Okay. Down here in Florida, okay, there's a couple of critters that we have called alligators and snakes that I'm just not real fond of. So I have to try to maybe be able to find a park to be able to do it where, there's not a lot of these critters there. So just kind of FYI, I am going to go out and do POTA one of these days. I promise. I do promise you guys. So, all right. This was an incredible story. Okay. Yaesu FT3DR for the win. It sat in this icy creek for about 36 hours before I found and recovered it. It was turned on with a nearly full battery when I dropped it. I dried it out and just conducted a successful radio check. I thought it was a goner for sure. Okay. Let me take a look here and see. And it does not look worse for the wear. It looks in great shape, and it's working. Wow, that's pretty amazing, and that's a great testament to that Yaesu and that radio. So if you're looking for it's not built on purpose as a rugged radio, but that's a good testimony to that. And if you do something like that, it's the old adage of putting that, if you want to dry it out, if it's really been waterlogged and soaked and things, you would want to open it up, take the battery out, and maybe put it in a tub of rice for maybe a day or two, because that rice will draw all that moisture in there. You may also want to gently use like a hair dryer in a low heat setting as well. Again, giving it ample time to dry out. But kudos to this guy. That is absolutely awesome. And it's great to see that that's still working. I thought you guys would enjoy this. 10 meters is great today. Yeah, this gentleman from don't know where he was in the States hit Russia today on 10 meters. And that's what I've seen. This is just this video right here. This is just an excerpt from last night's show where we talked about where I talked about my detailed steps on what I did to try to get the Mavic 3 Pro for $799. One of the things that I'm going to do, and they have, and this is one of the reasons why I talk about drones. What I'm going to do is they have a kit that you can get for a number of these drones, and it has a release mechanism. And what I'm going to do is be able to take some nylon cord up, fly it up over a tree, have a counterweight, drop it in a certain position, be able to pull that up and be able to pull my end-fed half wave up in a tree. So I know a lot of guys have done that. So stay tuned for that. I am going to do that. I'm targeting to do that probably sometime second quarter this year. So. Okay, this was a good post, and I wanted to share this. Let's say I don't know a thing about ham radio other than I need to study and get fully licensed before I invest in equipment. What do I want to do with my new hobby? I want to have fun and communicate with as many people as possible, as far away as possible. I want to be able to use as many frequencies as bands as possible. If there's a disaster, I want to use my base to help others communicate. I have a starting budget of $7,000 to spend on equipment. Please advise. Number one, okay, I absolutely love seeing this post, okay? Because and this is one of my favorite groups on Facebook. It's Ham Radio for Beginners, okay? I absolutely love that group, and I'm out there every day, and I'm looking for things. First of all, $7,000, you're going to be everybody's friend. No, I don't know about you guys, but yeah, it's just yeah, it's pretty that's a pretty incredible amount to be able to have to spend. But no, he's got some great ideas, and I think that's one of the great things that people talk about all the ills of social media, but if you get into a good group, and a lot of the groups that I'm on, I kind of vet them out and I watch them for a while, and if there's a lot of confrontation, I'll kind of slowly back out of these groups, but a lot of the groups that I'm in, like this one, and then ham radio operators on Facebook, they're large, but they're administered very well. The admins really do a great job with these pages. So when you see things like this, that's a great site, and I encourage you, a lot of you who have experience, go out there and act as an online Elmer to some of these guys. This gentleman's got a ton of responses back, and they were all great. I went out there to take a look at that. So, feel free when you see that to offer some great sound, solid advice. One of the comments that I saw was obviously, one of a couple things this one guy recommended. Number one, try to get hooked up with a local club. And number two, YouTube videos. And YouTube videos are absolutely fantastic. I mean, there are some great series like on the 7300. And I forget the guy's name. He did one on the 7300 and the 705. Just a fantastic series on that. And some of the other ones out there, they just do a great job. So, I did quite honestly, I've learned a lot. And well, I gotta say this from Josh and Jason, I've learned a ton from them as well too. And it's really great to be able to have these videos, to be able to watch them, at your leisure and learn and be able to enjoy this. But yes, I really, really like this group, Ham Radio for Beginners. It's out on Facebook. Guys, go out there, become join it and help other ones out. And ham radio operators is another good one too. They're, like I said, these groups are very well administered out there on Facebook. Okay, guide to CB radio microphone connections. I just thought that this was incredibly interesting to see some of this stuff. And like I said, and you guys know, I really have a penchant for looking at some of these old things like Lafayette catalogs or Radio Shack catalogs or items from Radio Shack. So now, just found out that there is a new release date for the Xiegu X6200, and it's looking like it's coming out in June. So I wanted to make everybody aware of that. I found that out today. Promo for tonight's show. Amazing performance, Chameleon Tactical Delta Loop antenna revisited. Michael Martins looked at this 3 years ago, and he wasn't very impressed with the performance. So he went out recently, took it out again, and you definitely, he said he was wrong. You definitely want to go ahead out there and watch this video. It's really, really well done. Now, here's a new one from Jason. He did a Baofeng 5RM power test and tiny SA results. So definitely you want to check these out, and that's one of the things I really like about Jason. He really takes some good dives into things, and especially on some of the lower end models, like the lower end HCs, and I call them the Baofengs. Okay, the $35-$45 radios. You need to kind of take a deep dive into some of these things and look at things to see what power output is, to take a look to see how spurious emissions are on these, because that's a really big thing with these Baofeng radios. You got to be real careful on that. So, Hextena POTA field test kit, and that's from Josh. I just saw that tonight. I haven't had a chance to watch that, so I bookmarked it. So I'm definitely going to go ahead and watch that. And then Josh put this one out a couple of weeks ago, but it's one I recommend. What to do when cell phones go down, AT&T. It's a great video, and it really speaks. Why are one of the reasons getting in this hobby. One of the reasons for me was emergency communications and communications when cell phone towers go down, and that's why I'm gently trying to steer my wife into ham radio, at least getting her technician license, so we could be able to talk on HTs if necessary. So stay tuned on that. But this is a great video from Josh. I highly recommend it. If you guys get a chance to get out there and watch this here. Okay. And this is a great video from Walt, using coax as a counterpoise, HF ham radio. And almost always you'll see a video posted from me, or a recommendation for a video for Walt, almost every week when we're out there. So want to thank you guys for stopping by tonight. Cooley, Mike, I hope you have a great rest of your evening. Jeff, let's see, Chris Radio and Life. Dr. Ted was here. John Hummel Newell, welcome again. Thank you guys for being here. And I know Sergeant Rock, I know you'll watch this, so kudos to you. Hope you're having a good evening as well. Andy, hope you've had a good evening. Thank you guys all for stopping by tonight. I really appreciate you taking a half hour or so out of your time to check out these news and updates. I really have a great time and enjoy doing this and getting this out there to the community, because, and one of the premises of my channel, and it's the whole reason I started this channel, was I want to try to make things simple, easy to understand, not overly complex. You're not going to see some of the stuff you'll see on other channels, but I want to do things like, for example, where is it here? Okay. I got a video coming out on this. It's a Texan PL990 shortwave radio. It's very reminiscent, and this was my Christmas gift this year from my wife, and it was very reminiscent and reminded me a lot when I was growing up in the summertime. My birthday's in the summer. My parents got me a realistic 9-band shortwave radio, and I would go out in the backyard and sit on the steps and listen to the world at night. And it was during summer nights. It was just such a joy and such a thrill to be able to do that. I bought this one. I did a lot of research on it. I have a video coming out. It's on unboxing and initial setup, and then I'm going to be doing another one on the radio itself. So look forward to this. I'm very excited about this radio. And again, half of our hobby, I would say 3/4 for me. Listen more than talk, and you'll learn a lot more that way. So that's what my dad always said. So UTV and ham, thank you. Oh, I'm glad you got it. I'm glad you got it. So okay, guys, want to thank you guys. Drop this off back here. Okay, want to thank you guys for stopping by tonight. Really appreciate you guys. As always, it's a great day to make a QSO. Look out for some new videos coming out shortly. 7-3s, everybody. Take care.